Hey guys, so I know that video is probably really confusing and I'm here to help. So I'm going to break this into two parts. First, talking about like dissolves like. So at the start of the video, Miss Sloan was talking about how the hand sanitizer kills coronavirus, and that's because of this thing called like dissolves like. So molecules can be both polar and non-polar. This is Rue. Hi Rue. Hi Rue. This is here. You guys can all meet her. That's Rue. So there are two types of molecules: polar and non-polar. Polar means that it has two ends, a positive end and a negative end. So it sort of works like a magnet. So the positive end repels positive ends of other molecules, and it attracts negative ends of other molecules. So just like a magnet, remember, if you put the two similar ends together, they repel. But if you put the two opposite ends together, they attract to each other. So a polar molecule, an example of that would be like sodium chloride. So any ionic bond, meaning a metal and a nonmetal, is going to be a polar molecule. That's because metals are what we know as these things called cations. So I don't know if you guys ever learned about cations and anions from Miss Doherty, but a cation is a positive ion, meaning any metal is going to be a cation, and those metals are cations because metals are found on the left side of the periodic table. Now, nonmetals are going to be what we call anions. And anions are found on the right side of the periodic table under the little like staircase. So I don't know if you can picture the periodic table, but everything on the right, meaning like chlorine, oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, all of the noble gases, everything over there, phosphorus, silicon, those are all going to be anions. So the way that you can remember this is cations are positive because cats have paws, so cations are positive. Now anions, on the other hand, are negative. Anion is spelled A-N-I-O-N. So it's sort of like A, and for negative, ion. So going back to this whole like dissolves like thing, so polar. One of the few examples that wouldn't be ionic for a polar compound is water. So water, we know, is a covalent compound because it is made of hydrogen and oxygen, and hydrogen and oxygen are both nonmetals, and two nonmetals form a covalent compound. So however, due to their electronegativity, they're like greed. So electronegativity is similar to greed, the desire to want electrons. Oxygen really, really wants the electrons of hydrogen, so it actually pulls those electrons of hydrogen towards itself. So I've taken some notes for you guys. I'll put them on to Instagram. And I'll put them, obviously this is going on to YouTube. But so polar means it has a positive and negative end, just like a molecule. So you can see water, right here, has oxygen, and then it has two little hydrogens. And so the oxygen is going to be negative because it is a nonmetal, and the hydrogens are going to be positive because they're in group 1. But then nonpolar just means that it has no poles, meaning there isn't a positive or a negative end. So back to this thing called like dissolves like, is polar molecules are going to dissolve polar molecules. Non-polar molecules are going to dissolve non-polar molecules. So that was the main point of the beginning part of Miss Sloan's lesson. Soon I will make another video to tell you about that second part, deciding if something is going to be soluble or insoluble, and we are going to need the like star chemistry materials I'll put them onto Google Classroom for you so that you can pull up a copy of them and look along as I try to explain it. Okay, hopefully this helped. Please leave comments. I will try to put this on Instagram and YouTube. Tell everyone to follow and subscribe and ask questions. I'm here to help, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.